regular scheduled meeting of the Finance Committee for June 2nd for the City of Hudson. Meeting is called to order. The first item of business is discussion, possible action on minutes from past meetings. Is there any changes or additions to our minutes?
I'll move for approval.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is claims for approval, June 2nd, 2014. Did I skip over licenses? Nope.
No.
For $331,194.81, I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Discussion and possible action on operator's license.
Mr. Mayor, I recuse myself.
Okay, approve the issuance of 12 regular operators license for the period of June 3rd, 2014 to June 30th, 2016. You can see the names in front of you. All are contingent upon payment of any outstanding debt owed to the city.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Discussion and possible action on additional on-street parking on First Street. Mr. Darnold.
Evening.
Good evening, Denny.
One of the issues that the ad hoc committee has addressed in the parking is where additional on-street parking on the west side of First Street is possible. We've had Tom Sifko, our part-time city engineer, work on this issue, prepare some very preliminary cost estimates on 3 areas on the west side of First Street. First area is north of Locust Street on the west side, so it's in between the Phipps Center for the Arts and the bathhouse parking lot. The second area is further south at the intersection of Wisconsin Street and First Street, which would be off of the northwest corner of the River City Center development. And the third area is on the west side of First Street, further south, north of the boat parking lot, or boat launch parking lot, and Wisconsin Street. The northern area across from the Phipps Center, we could put 46 stalls there. However, we would lose 8 stalls in the lakefront parking lot, so it would be a 38 net stalls. Cost of putting in parking at that location would be $394,000. Again, these are very preliminary numbers. We think they're conservatively high. We've put 10% in for indirect costs or construction contingencies, and also 20% for legal, administration, engineering, and testing. The second location, Wisconsin Street intersection, we could add 10 stalls. Estimated cost of $47,400. And south of Wisconsin Street, 20 stalls would be proposed at a cost of $92,400. On a priority basis, it'd probably be the northern area across at the Phipps Center, and the area south of Wisconsin Street with the 20 stalls. Then it'd be the third area from a priority standpoint would be the 10 stalls at the Wisconsin Street intersection. At the Wisconsin Street intersection, there are some very large cottonwood trees that would probably need to be removed, so we just want to keep those things in consideration. So the total cost is $533,800, which is a per unit cost of $7,850. Again, we believe these preliminary estimates are conservatively high.
Questions?
Have we found in our budgets, areas in our budget where we would pull this from?
I think we have. We found some of it.
We do have some of it. If you look at within the parking fund right now, we have an undesignated amount of about $404,000. That has been growing by about $30,000 a year. In the future facilities fund, we've got $98,000. So between those two, we have $503,000. The other place where we could potentially look for money is we have a kind of a carryover fund balance in the capital project fund of, we have about $960,000. So whether, it was, partially funded out of the capital fund, whether you use some of that and it was repaid in the future, but, we do have those funds there.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to deplete the entire parking.
No, I thought we'd use the ones designated for the, I would like to use the one designated for the parking, the 98,000, and
Yes.
possibly get the other amount out of our capital, our carryover capital funds.
Yeah, that sounds,
And then have parking reimburse it as they
Yep.
collect.
yeah, that sounds more reasonable.
I'd like to approach this, if we could, on a part-by-part basis. I like the 38 stall part of this. I think that's a big step towards helping resolve the parking problem. And I'd like to hold the other two on Wisconsin Street off until a future date. So if I moved forward with this, I would be in favor of going with the parking across from the Phipps, getting that completed, letting it work its way out and see how it develops. And if we need to continue with the 20 and 30 spot locations, we can do that at a later date. And that would reduce our cost to $394, give us 38 additional parking spots, and see how well that handles some of our problems. But I'm not in favor of going after the entire $500 and some $1,000 all at this time.
How about, is it the cost that you're concerned about, Rich?
Yeah,
mostly?
it's cost, and also checking the reality of just what 38 parking spots will do for us, because, again, when I come downtown, I may be unusual, but when I come downtown...
That's a loaded question.
I usually end up finding parking within 2 blocks, of Main Street. I have never, ever come down here, and it could be the busiest time I want, and I always find a spot. I just always find a spot.
How about, could you live with the fact if we go out for bids to see what the costs are?
Sure,
And
sure.
then we can, but we'll separate it out between the 3 projects?
3 options.
3 options?
Sure.
So that we can at least figure out how, I think the 533 is gonna be high, and I think it's gonna be really high. I hope it is. So, but yeah, if that's okay, I think we should go see what it's gonna cost, and we had in there $300 a parking meter, Danny, was it 300?
$300 per, yeah, I guess on
That's
the
if
south
the-
end where we haven't had meters, we may not need to put
Need to put
meters
them in
there, so.
And that's also if they're brand-new meters, and if we're using the same meters, we'll probably have to look at refurbished, which is half the price.
Sure. Any other thoughts on this? I think, go ahead, Mary.
Well, off what Rich said, I don't necessarily disagree with part of what you're saying, but if we are going to break it down, I'd like to at least hold off on, if we do hold off on a section after the bids come back, if we see that we need to, that would be just Wisconsin Street, only because the south end, we've been talking about for a while as well. So this project would just be more complete, because with the park and just the sidewalks and stuff, we need a sidewalk over there as it is. We're going to have to tear up for that, so we might as well do it all at once.
The 20 spots, you mean, on the south side?
Yeah, so-
it'd be 58 spots?
Yes, so at least if we're going to tear up for a sidewalk and try and complete the walking area for the park, we might as well just do it one time and not do it twice.
And if we bid, maybe somebody gives us a good deal on the entire project.
Sure.
And
Right.
That
And
may
the-
change the perspective on the whole project, so.
Yep,
Right, and the conversation's moot, but,
yeah.
yeah.
But it's still, I think I understand your thoughts on it, so.
I'll move for approval that we send this out for bid,
Okay,
receive the bids, and then move forward with your concerns from there.
okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
I'll second that.
Okay, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion, possible action on amendment to state municipal agreement for the state, for Wisconsin Street project. Mr. Darnold.
The revised Wisconsin Street contract with the Wisconsin DOT, the total project cost for construction has been increased from $654,000 to $1,100,000, with the federal contribution capped at 80%, so that's $880,000. Local share of construction has been increased from $138,800 to $220,000 or more if the project ran over the 1.1 million, and the city would have to pick up any additional costs. Of course, we hope that the estimates are high and the bids would come in lower. Again, this is, the increased cost is due in part to the fact that design of streets using federal and state funds are required to meet the complete streets design consideration, which means sidewalks and bicycle lanes on both sides of the street. The original cost estimate that was submitted to the state of Wisconsin did not include that provision.
Boy, I'll tell you what, this is a stark black reality to me as far as ever doing anything with these type of funds again. I mean, how long has it been now? 4 years. And each year, the whole thing keeps going up and up. And they're attributing this increase to what? To just the parking, or the bike trails?
The design criteria,
The 75?
yes.
How much would it have cost us if we didn't use funding to do it with, not have, if we didn't use funding, we'd have to add sidewalks and all that. So how much would it have cost us? Do we know an estimated?
Well, your original estimates are probably reasonably close. I mean, it's,
But that was
Right.
4 years ago, Daniel.
well, but still.
No, my point by asking that question is we're still only paying $220,000 to redo all of Wisconsin Street and add sidewalks. We're not paying what's possibly $700,000. So as frustrating as it be that the price has increased a little, we're still saving. You
Not
know.
only the prices, the delay and all the hoops we're jumping through. I mean, this street needed to be done 10 years ago, and now we're 10 years ago, and now we're further on, you know?
But
Well,
I
I've
think we're on
I've
plan
cautioned-
now, right? To be done next year.
You
Yeah, I've
cautioned
cautioned
us.
council numerous times. I mean,
Yep.
anytime you play by somebody else's, you play with their gold, you play by their rules. So that's just a consideration. I mean, you go into these federal and state funds, you have to go in with your eyes wide open because there's always these requirements that you have to meet. So
Yep. So I guess we need a motion to either approve this or to say goodbye.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
I want it.
I'm
Any
just,
other discussion on this? All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 7, discussion possible action on the purchase of body camera system. Chief Jensen.
Mr. Mayor, would it be possible to take up both the body cameras and the in-squad cameras at the same time?
Sure.
Connected?
They're separate. They're separate.
They're
items.
separate issues, but if they,
Hey, Marty, if I could interject, I think the numbers on the squad vehicle don't add up correctly.
you got 45,270?
Do you have to add those 3 items in the next sentence? Because if you do, it's 49,925. I just looked at it.
I don't think that's right.
On the in-squad videos?
Yeah, those 3 numbers that are listed in the sentence following the 45,270 do not add up to 45,270.
We're talking about the car
But
cameras.
yeah, I'm sorry, yes.
We'll take a look again.
Okay,
I know that those numbers should be right.
okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's
And
fine
I
to
might
mention
have,
that
I might
before
have
you-
added them up wrong inside the, yeah, because I've got them twice here listed at 45,270. 43,945. Software at 995. Yeah, the 45,270 is the current price for the system. The view link is an option that I want to consider, which would be that 54.45.
Okay.
Does that make, that doesn't add up right either?
No,
Should.
that's only 44,940. Anyway,
That's include shipping.
okay.
Shipping's in there. I'm sorry, $330
The
for
value
shipping.
link is a separate.
The separate is a separate investment that I would like us to consider. Anyway, we had sent out bid requests for both the cameras, body cameras, and the in-squad. We received 10 bids back on the body cameras and 7 bids back, obviously, on the in-car system. They ranged anywhere from $2,300 all the way up to $9,300 in some of the bid ranges. For the body cameras, and if you take a look at the in-car cameras, they range anywhere from $32,000 up to a high of $108,000. And taking a look at the systems, I sat down after we opened up with Devin. I sat down with Brian from IT and my administrative assistant to take a look at the system that would best fit the department and would obviously probably come in at the lowest possible price. we came to the conclusion that the system we'd like to get for both is Digital Ally. Reason being, a Digital Ally did meet all the requirements set by the bid specs that we had. One of the benefits that I like about Digital Ally is they gave a 5-year warranty versus a 1 or 2 or 3 that we received on most of the other bids. The integration between the two systems is quite unique. This VView system for the extra $5,400 will link the body cameras and the in-car cameras. So if my officers are responding to an emergency situation and they turn on their red lights and siren, which activates the in-squad camera, it will automatically activate the body camera. So if they're in a high-stress situation, they don't have to worry about turning the camera on at the same time. I like that feature. I thought that was something that would be very good. The other part is both systems will use the same software in the server end, the View Vault, so that we can be able to download and be able to process both camera systems at the same time. Install, from what I understand from EATI that does our installs, our cameras, they put several of these in annually. They run anywhere, if they'll come on site doing anything between $400 and $500 per car. So I'm looking at another $5,400. All said in total, I figure I'm going to be under $80,000. That's without a server system put in. The ID department has come up with a plan to buy a system that we're currently looking at, which costs a lot more money, but it will actually help us in the long run with our server program. And that $20,000 that's left over might be able to help purchase that program as at the right time. What I've been told, though, is our server will either hold this for right now until we can come up with a better solution from IT, or Digital Ally does offer a server that has a 5 gigabyte or 5 terabyte memory in it that will run the system for several years, and it's about $4,900, which IT says is a very good price. So if we need to get a server for that, we can.
What's the server they're looking at in IT?
The server they were looking at is something similar to it's a large storage container, basically. The server still runs itself, but this, they call it a NIMS system, or Nimbus system, I believe is what it was called. It's an off-branch, but it will hold up to anywhere from 12 to 18 terabytes, and you can configure it bigger and bigger as you go along. The county currently has one now, and it's something that got brought up at the discussions when we met with this company, is that if we were to buy this system, we might be able to rent some of that storage space to the county to reduce our cost in buying the system.
Do they have a system store that we could just store with them off-site?
Well, we're currently, we mean the camera system company?
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Okay.
It would all have to be on-site. And the reason for the on-site is that we'd be able to maintain it. We would have access to it. They will come and they will upload the software for free. Training is for free on both camera systems. The rep that works in Wisconsin would come and do the training. This is a camera that's used throughout the state of Wisconsin. North Hudson has a system, has this exact same system. On the in-car, the city of New Richmond has the same system. I've talked to both chiefs. They're happy with it. They said it works fine. They get good quality out of it.
So go one more time. The software system, are you talking about the system for the storage unit for the entire city is going to be $20,000? Is that?
No. They're looking at a storage facility that would hold a lot of like our excess videos and so forth.
Okay.
The price that we were quoted, roughly ballpark, was around $55,000.
55?
$55,000. But this is a huge server, and obviously it's a little bit out of my league. I'm a cop, not a technician or an IT guy. But they said it was something that would be able to cover all of the city, including the police department. And they said that there would probably be space available that if we wanted to rent it out to the county, that might be something we could do as well. Because currently we have to end up purchasing hard drives for the county using the software system that they have out there right now that we enjoy using with them, the Vision system.
We have no funds available, or we have nothing planned, I believe, for an IT purchase of $55,000.
No, we don't.
No, this is just all preliminary as of right now.
So our system, we can't use it until we get this backup system?
No,
No.
I'm just saying that there's $20,000 available should the IT department want to look at upgrading to that higher system, there would be money available left
There's a
over.
5 terabyte system for 4,900 that.
Right, that we could
get.
purchase to use it.
Yes, but if
Just
we
don't wanna
wanted,
say we have to have a 55.
No, we don't have to have that.
Okay.
The IT department is suggesting that might be something to look forward to in the future. I'm saying is, by the time we're all said and done, we're going to have right around $20,000 left over that $100,000 available.
that could help.
That
Can
could
use
be
that
used.
for parking, Marty.
You could use that for
For
parking.
parking meters, no.
So are we at, you're at 50,000 for all the camera and software and that view link, $50,385, right? Roughly?
Roughly.
And then you're adding the lapel camera, so we're at about 72,825,
Correct.
and then another 54 for something?
Well, 5,500 probably. If you're looking at about 4,900 for a server, if we needed to,
Right.
get a server
We
for
need
it.
to get a server.
So
Right.
total, we're at 78,225
Right, and-
roughly, and we
and then-
budgeted for
100,000.
100,000.
100,000.
And install is about $400 to $500 a car.
That's what that was.
So if you figure the high end at 5 and 11 is $5,500.
So we're over, about around 80.
Right around that. Right around that
82.
mark.
So we're basically 18,000 under budget,
Yeah.
Yep.
which is good.
So why wouldn't we get the $4,900 server made?
Well, I'm saying that's probably what we'll end up doing is getting the $4,900 server because I'm not sure when IT might present this to the city or anything along that line. I just wanted to bring this forward as a possible option that might come down future.
Yeah, go ahead.
That sounds like something we could spread throughout the city departments. If we're
Correct.
all- If they're all
Right.
using
It wouldn't be just us. It would be the whole city that would use it.
Yeah, I think the point Marty is just trying to make and is that right now the $4,900 server is what the police department will need, but if we want to get something to handle the entire city, this is something to look at, but it's not something we need right now. It's just something to consider. And if we didn't have another place to allocate those funds, the extra funds could be allocated towards that if that's something we would choose to do. But I think right now 5 terabytes is more than plenty to handle the police
Correct.
camera
It'd be-
system.
Be more than enough to handle it. Currently, New Richmond has a system. They're up to like 3 terabytes, and they've had theirs for 5 or 6 years.
Yes. So can we make we can handle both at one time then?
Sure.
I'll make a motion to approve both camera and lapel system, camera in-car squad systems, the lapel systems, and the view, what was it called? The view
View link.
View link, thank you. The View Link system, along with the $4,900 server to store the video in,
Not to exceed
not to exceed $85,000.
85,000.
I'll
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any more discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Marty. Oh, we got one more.
We got one more.
Damaged squad car.
Correct.
Was this the other person's fault?
Yes,
The
it
other
was.
person ran into us, right?
It was the other person's fault. They blew a red light in St. Paul, and
Okay.
our squad got T-boned. The insurance company has totaled out the squad, and they've sent a check, which Neil's already got for $25,704. I'd like to be able to use that money from insurance to purchase another squad car. I put the amount that we got the last bids for right around that $20,990 from Hudson, just to give you a ballpark estimate of what it cost. And was just wondering if you wanted me to, first off, I was asking permission to obviously use that money to get the new squad. And second is, do we need to go through the bid process, or can I get another, ask Holt Ford if they'll give us another one at that price?
Catherine?
Well, that was December, right?
Correct.
It was the low bid in December 2013.
13.
Yep.
So, I mean, these aren't required under state law to be bid out. It's city policy, and if you think the bidding process was sufficient in December to use now, you can do that.
I think it's
the same
sufficient.
car, right?
It's the
Are
same
you doing
car.
a
If
car
they'll
or
give it to us at the
SUV?
same price, it was $2,700.
It was a
Cheaper than
it
the
was
next
a car,
person.
not the SUV, right?
No, it was the Explorer,
It was
the Taurus. No, it was the
Oh,
Taurus.
Taurus. Okay.
Have you checked with them to see if they would give
I
us-
have not. I just wanted to wait till the city council decided.
I would think we want to get that as ASAP and see when they can put an order in.
I'll make a motion to give Marty the opportunity to call Hudson Ford and to use the insurance check that was given for $25,704 to purchase a new squad and get it outfitted.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 10, thanks, Marty.
Thank you.
Item 10 is the discussion and possible action of renewal of Class B, Class C liquor for Azul Tequila. Any discussion or issues there?
Move to approve based on the conditions of the fire inspections and payment of outstanding debt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is discussion possible action of request of Public Works Director to allocate funds from equipment sales to purchase an equipment trailer for Public Works. Issue tow sheet. Mr. Zulli, welcome.
Good evening. We'd like to ask the council and the finance committee to consider purchase of a trailer. The current trailer that we have is in need of repair. It's a 16-foot trailer, and it's a trailer that we use for hauling either the bobcat or skidder. And when we have multiple pieces of attachments for that, they won't fit on the 16-foot trailer. Then we have to take another piece of equipment to haul that attachment on there. So having a longer trailer, we can be able to have the means to have the skidder plus attachment or multiple attachments and be more efficient and less vehicles.
Is this in your budget, Tom?
We
Did you have this on your budget?
We
equipment
have
list?
money in.
No, but this piece of equipment.
We have money in the
Equipment purchase?
equipment purchase funds.
Right, but was this one of the?
No, this was not.
This is a new this is a different than
Yep.
from last year.
Yep.
Okay.
The reason that we're asking for this is, or at least up for discussion, is the current trailer is, like I said, it's too small to haul the skidder and the pieces of attachments. The lights are not up to standards. We need new brakes. Needs to be rewired and needs to have new tires. So when we put the trailer out for bid to get prices for the new trailer, we asked for trade-ins. We did receive one trade-in for $1,500.
So you're going to drop your balance if we approve this down to under 10,000. Will that take you through the rest of the year for equipment?
I hope so.
It will have to.
It will have to. Well, I'm just saying, if you had anything else that you had put in the capital or the budget earlier,
Yep.
or you have any unforeseen or anything you see coming and breaking down,
Not at this time. Like I said, we have a lot of work to do, and it's going to help us, a lot of stormwater projects, and it certainly would help be more efficient.
okay. Is there any other discussion? Is there a motion?
I move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Tom.
I'm not even looking at you guys anymore.
Next is discussion, possible action on the purchase and install of a high-speed turbo blower at the wastewater treatment plant. Mr. Schreiber.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So this is to supplement a high-speed turbo blower that we installed in 2011, so it's kind of a repeat performance of that project. It was a new technology then. We've had almost 3 years on the turbo blower that we installed in 2011. It has run nonstop since we installed it in November of 2011. Very happy with it. It's performed as expected. We expect this new blower to perform as well. It's a little larger in capacity. We are going to need additional air capacity as our flow continues to climb and as we reach capacity of our treatment plant. So we did receive 3 competitive bids, and for this replacement, this will replace a 1979 blower, a single-stage blower. So it really has survived its useful life. It still functions, but economically, we should replace it with this updated technology. We did receive, as I said, 3 competitive bids. The low bidder was Arizon USA Corporation in the amount of $82,013. We have applied for a custom incentive grant from Focus on Energy and have secured that grant for $21,476.27. The remaining balance would be funded through our equipment replacement fund. So I would recommend that we approve the proposal from Arizon.
This is a lot more efficient also, isn't it?
It consumes about half of the electrical energy that our current blowers consume.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
So you need the motion to,
Approve.
all the way up to 82,
Nope, 60.
60.
Well, we'd actually take $82,013. The other thing is we have a 90-day
Okay.
90-day testing and trial period. We pay
All right.
nothing up front. We test it for 90 days, make sure the performance is adequate. If it's not, we expect it will. Our last one was. But if it isn't, it's returned. If it meets performance, we would pay $82,013. The $21,000 grant is a reimbursement grant.
Okay.
So we would have to pay the money out of our equipment replacement fund and then send that receipt to Focus on Energy, and they'd reimburse us.
Okay. And that would go back into your equipment?
Into the equipment replacement.
Right. Okay.
I'll make a motion to purchase a blower for $82,013 from Arizon USA Corporation.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Are there any other items for future agenda? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. We'll move right into city council. We're about set.